Seasons. While some parts of the country are seeing flakes flying, others are seeing above average temperatures. We'll help you plan for the swings in the mercury right here on America's Morning Headquarters. Jordan?
Welcome.
I mean, it's almost kind of comical,
yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, okay, that's someone's Halloween decorations, and some kid's going to wake up sad that there's not a pumpkin in their front yard anymore. Bottom line, secure it before the wind moves in. And right now, I'm standing in one of those places that you might want to secure those Halloween decorations. This is Sam Houston Park, located in Houston, Texas. All thanks to our virtual view technology. Cloudy skies here as we finish off the day, and then it gets dark and the storms come rushing into the area later on in the evening, along with some strong winds. The Bayou City, well, you're running nearly a foot below average when it comes to the rainfall this year. So it might be a welcome sight for you. Though we won't have a ton of beneficial rainfall, but at least it's something moving through. This is going to be a pretty quick pass of the cold front overnight. And overnight really is the key timing of this, because when we have severe weather that happens after dark, it is all the more dangerous. A Torcon of 3 for the Houston area. We go down to Galveston and we're talking about a Torcon of 2. So lower numbers on the scale, but anytime there is a number, there is a threat. We'll be dry for most of the day, maybe a few passing showers, and then our main cold front starts to move through, and it's along this line that we could see some of those spin up isolated tornadoes. But look at the time. This is 2 a.m. in the morning when this is knocking on the door in Houston. This continues to move through, and most of this is gone by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. So this is truly an overnight event. Different timing for you in Dallas and the Fort Worth area. In fact, we're already starting to see some rain this morning. This will continue with some light showers until the middle part of the day. And here comes the main cold front swinging through. Along that, I think gusty, damaging winds will be our primary concern. And Dallas is another spot that, yeah, we need the rain, and we're going to see multiple rounds of it today. Let's jump up into Oklahoma City, as well as up into the Tulsa area, which, by the way, Tulsa, since the beginning of September, you're about 4+ inches of rain behind. So we need this. The farmers, the ranchers, they're desperate for the rain, and we're getting several rounds of it today, and heavy rain at that. In fact, the northeastern corner of the state, we could end up with anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain before all is said and done. But embedded in that, some gusty winds, and that can cause some damage, maybe even some power outages as this continues to move through. And hopefully, because we are so dry and we're seeing so much rain at once, Jordan, I hope we don't have problems with flooding.
I hope not. I hope that looking at even some smaller tornadoes causing problems in these zones.
And I think the problem is that a lot of it's going to happen after dark.
Yes.
So with that, you get those spin up tornadoes. It's raining. You can't see them coming. You might be asleep. So it makes it all the more important to make sure you have something that will wake you up in the dead of night if you do find yourself under a tornado warning. We're going to continue to watch this system as it moves to the east. We've got those strong upper level winds in place. We've got plenty of moisture. In fact, you'll feel that. You'll feel the humidity increasing outside over the next, say, 24 to 36 hours in parts of the southeast. Tomorrow, the zone of concern, Memphis, Tupelo, Birmingham, all the way down to Mobile, and even parts of Louisiana getting in on the chance for severe weather. Jordan just talked about this, a 3 for our Torcon. Yeah, it may not seem like a high number, but anytime there is a number, there is a threat. And this will be along a line of storms that we could have some of these embedded spin-ups along the way. We will see that line as soon as we start off Tuesday morning. We're going to be tracking this for the better part of today, the better part of tomorrow, a 2-day event here. It's going to be pouring in Little Rock tomorrow morning. It's going to be pouring in Shreveport, and it's going to stay that way for the better part of the first half of Tuesday. This line continues to move to the east, and as it does, areas like Tupelo, Birmingham, Hattiesburg, this gets into those peak heating hours of the day. We have the moisture that continues to increase, and with that, it's going to be the chance for severe weather. And we're talking the primary concern, those damaging straight line winds, but the tornado threat, it is there as well. Eventually, this moves into Nashville by tomorrow afternoon. The line breaks up a little bit through Chattanooga, as well as northern portions of Georgia into Atlanta by the time we get to later on Tuesday evening. But you'll notice where a lot of that heavy rain is, and this is what Justin Michaels and Steph were just talking about, where the Mississippi River, we desperately need this rain, and we're going to see a good couple inches of rain over this area. No, it's not going to break the drought or the problems that we're seeing, but it certainly is going to be a help, and you can see that rain moving through areas like Jackson and across the I can be causing a lot of problems when it comes to Monday morning travel. You're back to work, you're back to school, you're just trying to get, to where you need to be, and the rain is causing problems, and it could cause problems throughout the day in some of our major airports in the Northeast. We know when these start to slow down, we're going to see some delays kind of ripple out across the country. It's not just traveling by air that we could be having some problems, but also by road. Think that, it's the leaves around here are a little bit past peak for most of us. They're starting to fall on the roadways, on the grass, and when you drive on those leaves, when they're wet, it can almost be as slick as ice. So make sure you slow down this morning. Give yourself lots of extra time to get where you need to go. In New York, we're dry this morning, but look, as the rain continues to move to our north, we're going to stay cloudy throughout the day, and some rain trying to sneak in towards the afternoon and the evening rush time frame. So make sure, before you head out the door in New York, you don't want to get caught in the rain, trying to run to the subway or anything. So just make sure you have the umbrellas, the rain gear, and this goes for New York, Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Make sure you have it handy. Steph, Jordan.
Well, it's been nearly a month since Hurricane.
Wild temperature swings over the next couple of days, where we go from fall to winter, maybe a little bit of summer mixed in there as well, as Mother Nature tries to decide on the season of the week. We're talking 141 million of us with above average temperatures by tomorrow, most of those centered in the eastern third of the country, as our cold front right now is sitting across Oklahoma, parts of Texas, down into Kansas, where we have most of the action as far as the rain and the severe weather for today. This cold front will be moving to the east, as we've been talking about, and with it bringing in some of that cooler weather. Ahead of that, some of our highs 10 to 20 degrees above average. This is a huge change from last week when we were talking snow in the UP of Michigan. Now it's going to be 65 degrees this afternoon in Marquette. That is a huge change. And, the snow that we had last week, now definitely a thing of the past as we're warming way up. 84 in Jackson, 78 for you in Atlanta. As our cold front swings through, some of us dropping, like say in Nashville, 5 to 10 degrees below average. So it's that back and forth kind of, how do I dress? What do I wear? What do I keep in my closet this time of year? The answer is a little bit of everything. On Wednesday, 10 to 20 degrees above average as we look into the northeast. So you can see that cooler air moving into Marquette. Our high only 46 tomorrow, on Wednesday, 56 for you in Chicago, and that cooler air even making it into a place like Atlanta, while the northeast is still holding on to that warmth for one more day. Cincinnati, a perfect example. Your average high 63. We're really not going to be around there for today or tomorrow. Wednesday, we dip below that, and then we start to see that slow upward trend as we head towards the weekend. Final stop here, we get into Pittsburgh, where we're going to be in the 70s today, tomorrow, and then Steph, it's going to be chilly for the rest of the week.
Yes, it is here.
Inflatable stuff
that are out there, yes.
Rolling down maybe the sidewalk, or maybe you might find it in your neighbor's yard, or maybe you might not find it ever again at all. Well, right now I'm standing inside Sam Houston Park, located in Houston, Texas, all thanks to our virtual view technology. It'll be cloudy skies to start the day before storms come rushing into the area later on in the evening. Really, for a lot of us, it's going to be after dark, and they could have some very strong winds with them. The Bayou City running nearly a foot below average when it comes to rain this year. It won't soak up much of the beneficial precipitation, at least in Houston. It's going to be fairly limited as far as the rainfall amounts, but the severe weather, that's a definite possibility. So we're talking a Torcon of 2 to 3 around the Houston area, 2 as we get down towards the Galveston area, but 3 Houston and points to the north. So just know it's a possibility. And when I show you the timing, it's a little bit concerning, because a lot of this stronger weather will be moving in through the overnight hours, well after dark, well after a lot of us go to sleep tonight. So make sure you have a way to get warnings. Let's fast forward this to midnight. You can see our cold front. It is approaching from the west and the northwest. That will start to swing in through the very early morning hours of Tuesday. It's a thin line, but along that line we could have gusty, damaging winds, as well as an isolated spin-up tornado or two. By the time we get to 4 a.m., we have some of those residual showers, but the main line and the strongest part of this line is going to be off to our east by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. So this truly is an overnight event. Let's jump up into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where we already have some rain this morning. Just get ready, Dallas. It's going to be a soggy day. I don't think there's going to be too many complaints, although because we have such a need for rainfall in this area. So we have rain, light rain for the first part of the day. We get to the lunchtime hour, and here we have the heavy rain that starts to move in. And with that, we could have some isolated, damaging wind gusts, but I think really the rain and the beneficial rain is going to be the big hallmark of this system moving through. And, Jordan, Dallas, I'm thinking of Oklahoma City, Tulsa, a lot of areas that will see the rain today, they desperately need it.
Yeah, definitely. we could get in.
I want to talk about because
Okay.
that does bring us the chance of severe weather, potentially Tuesday morning, but more likely as this line continues to strengthen, it'll be more towards Tuesday afternoon. Well, first I want to show you these strong winds. They're sending colorful leaves flying in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Just listen to this for a second. Into Oklahoma City. You're going to see 70s this morning while the rain is falling. By tomorrow morning this time, the wind chills will be in the 30s and 40s. That's the kind of drama that we're talking about with this cold front, where a big warm up is ahead of it. We're talking, by tomorrow, Tuesday, 141 million of us seeing those temperatures above average, all thanks to our jet stream with this cooler air that's diving way down to the south along that cold front. And right behind it, ahead of that, we've got that warm, moist, almost summer-like air in place. As our cold front moves east, that's going to bring some big time changes with the chance of severe weather, but also the cold air behind it. If you're a warm weather lover, you love the summertime, you love the kind of humid air that we have in the summertime, you're going to enjoy this, especially in the south. You'll feel it increasing as we go throughout the day. Highs in places like the Ohio Valley up towards Michigan, even parts of the Northeast, like we go up to Pennsylvania and upstate New York. You're going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees above average. 77 in Columbus, 85 for you in Jackson, Mississippi today. Tomorrow we're looking at those temperatures falling as our cold front moves through a place like Nashville. We just talked about that with our cold front swinging through, bringing the chance for thunder, lightning, rain, and then the cold air is going to be right behind that. Thankfully, they're not meeting, so we're not talking about the chances for winter weather. It's just going to be a dramatic swing back and forth, as we know so well this time of year. Wednesday, there are the changes. So Columbus, we talked about today, close to 80. You get to Wednesday, you're not even going to make it out of the 50s. Baltimore, 72, so you have one more warm day. This is a perfect example of the kind of swings that we're talking about, where we go from near 80 today, tomorrow in a place like Cincinnati, and then Steph, we get to Wednesday, and it's back to the layers.
Mother Nature's love.
Person stuff, but I can just imagine, the middle of the night, the wind starts to pick up, and all of a sudden you see a skeleton just go down the street.
That's what, yeah, like the Watcher. I can't
Hopefully you don't get spooked tonight, either by Halloween decorations or by the storms, because tonight is really our timing, and that includes you in Houston. Right now, I'm standing in Sam Houston Park, located in Houston, Texas, all thanks to our virtual view technology. Cloudy skies for most of the day. It's going to be kind of gloomy, but that's before storms come rushing into the area after the sun goes down. And for most of us, this will be really deep into the overnight hours that you start to hear the rain, you hear the thunder, and you see the lightning. In the Bayou City, we're running nearly a foot below average when it comes to the rain this year. And unfortunately, we're not going to soak up a lot of the beneficial rainfall in a place like Houston. It's not going to be a lot, but it'll be a start. There'll be other areas we'll talk about in a minute that will see more rain. For you in Houston, the Torcon numbers 2 to 3 from Galveston, 3 as we get up into the Houston area. This again will be well into the overnight hours. Let's get you the timing so you can see exactly when we're talking about some showers as we end off the afternoon and evening, but most of us staying dry until we get to the overnight hours. Midnight, we've got those storms knocking on the door. Houston, we get to 2 a.m. That's when the main line starts to move through. And along that line, we could have a few of those isolated spin-up tornadoes, have a way to get warnings. I think the primary concern is going to be those damaging straight line winds, but the tornado threat is definitely there. Oklahoma City, this is a place that we need the rain. Oklahoma, all of Oklahoma is in drought conditions. I think it's 80% that you have extreme drought, and exceptional drought continues to take over the northeastern corner of the state. This rain, it is a welcome sight. So we're talking not only rain this morning, lightning, thunder for your morning commute, heavy downpours, especially in Oklahoma City, but we'll see several rounds of rain as we go throughout the day. We'll see one move through, replaced by another one as we get into the evening hours. Not quite as heavy as the first, but we'll take all the rounds we can get in Oklahoma because so many of us need to make up some of the rainfall. Let's head to places like Dallas and Fort Worth, where yes, we have rain this morning. Don't forget the umbrella as you step out the door. If you have to walk the dog, I would do it this morning when the rain is a little bit lighter, because look what comes in for the middle of the day. That's our cold front roaring through, and we could see some stronger wind gusts along that line and some more rain right behind that as we get to the later hours of the evening and the overnight. So Jordan, a place like Dallas, we're expecting multiple rounds too.
I remember when I lived in Oregon, it rained.
Welcome back into America's Morning Headquarters. If you're in the Northeast this morning, you're waking up to quite the different weekend than what you had, because now we have rain moving through, and that could delay some of your travel either by air or safer by road. And keep in mind, we've got all the leaves that are falling. We're a little bit past peak in the Northeast right now. And driving on wet leaves can actually be just as slick as ice. So take it slow this morning. Give yourself extra time. In New York City, we're doing fine this morning, but it's going to be this evening, just in time for the evening rush. You've got some evening plans, some dinner plans. Don't forget the rain gear walking around New York City because you just might need it. Boston, we're staying soggy through most of the day. So we've got rain this morning. It's cool. It's in the 50s. We've got heavy rain for the lunchtime hour. And then we get to the evening time frame. Some clearing tries to happen, but we're mostly kind of stuck in that rainfall all throughout the day. And you look at these temperatures and you think, okay, 60s sounds pretty nice, but 60s with rain and a little bit of wind, yeah, that's pretty miserable. So make sure you're prepared for the day and the rain. Well, it's going to be moving out, but only will be quickly replaced by our next system moving in. Steph, Jordan.
Well, and